I don't have anything planned for this video. I'm going to word vomit. So, on the verge of breaking down right now. Ha 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 ha. Hello, friends. My name is Amber. If you're new here, if you're not new here, welcome back. I make videos now regarding mindset and wellness. I used to make van life videos. Probably will do that in the future when I get the van that I'm saving up for right now. Because that's all that I'm saving up for right now. I cannot believe how far I've come from that life. Yeah, so kind of just want to address some things that I've been contemplating in life, some concepts that have been relevant. Just kind of want to update you guys because I know a lot of you had followed my channel because of van life, and I hope that the content that I am shifting to, it's not very far off from van life. Honestly, my channel, I didn't start specifically for van life. I started my channel because I wanted to share my life with people. My name is Amber. I'm starting a YouTube channel. The goal of this channel is to document my life. I think that talking about it could help people realize other different ways of living and just be more open-minded, other people's lifestyles. I don't feel like it's necessary to do things in the way that society expects you to do them. For me, living in a van meant that I had freedom. I had authority over my life. I had autonomy to create the life that I wanted. It gave me a sense of freedom. Surrounding your life with things that give you a sense of your inner desires, I think is really important because it keeps your mind in that space. So for me, living in a van, it was minimalism, it was freedom, it was frugal because I didn't have to pay for rent. It was also a sense of independence. I like being self-sustainable, having a sense of like self-control, and I wanted to be in control of my surroundings. And living in an apartment, somebody else is in control of the entire establishment and all of that. It's weird. This video is not about van life. It's not about why I'm not doing van life anymore. It's not about the fact that I'm going to do it again. It's just about whatever is going to come out of my mouth, and I want it to be an update. An update on where I'm at in life, because my last video was about my breakup. I feel like I've changed a lot since coming back to Minnesota after living in Utah for 2 years with that guy, and I think that I've regained a lot of my independence. I've regained a lot of my wisdom, which is interesting because I feel like when I moved to Utah, I kind of let go of a lot of my ambitions because I was like, okay, we're set. I'm in this with this guy. He's like the answer to my prayers, and everything is good now. I don't have to work on anything. I slowly started to slip into a state of comfort. And then I was comfortable for a while, and then I started to realize, okay, wait. I remember one time when I had ambitions. I remember when I had my YouTube channel and I inspired people to live freely. I remember all of these things that I used to be so proud of myself for, and I don't have them anymore. And so I want to kind of speak to that and verbalize that I am trying my best to get back to that, not like revert, but pull those things back out again. It's kind of working. I think just being alone in general, like, naturally brings that out of me because it's like who I am in my essence, and being surrounded by people constantly who didn't bring that out of me, they brought other aspects of me out. I think honestly, I'm not really sure like why I turned into the person that I turned into, but I think a lot of it has to do with marijuana. But I don't smoke anymore. That as frequently, like socially maybe, but barely, like barely. That's where I'm at in life. I'm at a point where I always talk about the point.
I'm at a point where...
But what I really wanted to talk about also was being kind to yourself. Because the past 4 months that I might cry, forewarning, but the past 4 months that I've been in Minnesota, immediately when I got here, I was like crippled by the weight of knowing that I was going to inevitably have a lot to catch up on. Because I had known the entire time I was in Utah that I was neglecting all of my goals. I tried to make some of them happen here and there. Like we bought a bus. I was still posting on YouTube, but not as frequently. I still don't post as frequently as I want to because of school and 2 jobs. It sucks because YouTube is literally all I want to do ever. I started out being very overwhelmed with everything that I had to do. I made a budget list, a plan for the next year, and I plan to have a van by September. Wow, that's not gonna happen, guys.
Not gonna happen.
I am not making enough to afford the van that I want by then, because I want a legit van and I want a full build out and I want it to be very sustainable for many, many years. So that is going to take a little bit longer than I thought, but that's okay. And it just like seeing I wanted a van, I wanted a build out, I wanted a laptop, and I wanted yoga teacher training, and I wanted school. So far, I'm actually incredibly proud of myself because I've saved up enough for yoga teacher training. I bought my laptop, which was, so let's actually be transparent here. Yoga teacher training, $3,000 I have in my bank for that in a separate little savings account. Laptop, I'm not bragging here, I'm just putting things in perspective. I'm kind of bragging because I'm proud of myself, but just know that, like, we all are college kids who don't have any money, okay? So this is a lot of money for me. And I'm proud of myself that I've accomplished it all within the past 4 months. Because I came back to Minnesota with like $1,000. I have yoga teacher training, $3,000. I have my laptop that was like $2,500 with all the software that I put on it and like the external hard drive and stuff. And then I bought school, which was $600 for the class. So, I mean, all of that I've accomplished, which is good. The van, $25,000. It's what I am hoping for. How much do I have in there? $300 so far, I think. I'm actually gonna cry. Wow. Yeah, so I have to work a lot this summer. So I'm like getting overwhelmed right now. But yeah, being kind to yourself. So I have all of those goals, right? And I am not going to accomplish any of them unless I am kind to myself, unless I tell myself that it's okay that I'm not meeting the goals as fast as I want to, because if I am hard on myself, and I have done this for the past 4 months, just like beat myself up to the point where I can't even move, like I can't even do anything. I'm just exhausted and I am
paralyzed,
too disappointed in myself to even start anything. And we've all had days like that. Luckily, my episodes are not as extreme as others, but they are more extreme than others. So like I don't want to devalue it, but I just want to stress that if you feel like you are getting stuck because you are holding yourself accountable, accountability is good, right? But having goals and setting plans is a good start. And when you can't reach one of those goals that you set for yourself in the time that you've allotted for yourself, take a step back and reevaluate. Think about why I didn't make this goal happen. Was it because I wasn't getting enough sleep? Was it because I was working too much? Am I in school? Am I struggling with my mental health? There are so many variables that we are subjected to, and so many stimuli that we are subjected to as humans, just every day, all the time, that influence how we perform in our life. Like in life, living is a performance. Like you have to have all of your levels of health met to perform optimally, right? So obviously if you don't meet a plan, there was something that didn't line up, you could have been, you have to like realize why it didn't happen and tell yourself it's okay, because in this game there are rules. One of the rules is that it's not easy, okay? And there are going to be obstacles and challenges, and sometimes those obstacles and challenges are in here, and you feel like it's your fault because it's coming from inside of you. I was kind of just trying to come up with something that made sense, okay? But I realized that this makes sense, and it is a text that I sent to one of my friends when he was having a bad day. Let me just read it to you. I know that some days are harder than others, but it's just that. Some days are harder than others. Some days are brighter than others. It's hard to remember, but it's good to be reminded of. You know all the things you need to know to get you out of feeling that way. You hold them. But when the darkness overwhelms, there can be a heavy haze distorting your perception of how much light you actually carry. It makes you feel like the way out is farther and your burden is heavier. Sometimes all it takes is talking to someone who understands and is not currently in that haze. Someone who sees you from the zenith and can remind you of how much light you are actually carrying. It's not your fault for feeling that way either. It's not our fault that snow falls and wind blows in the physical realm. And it's not our fault that the same things can happen in the mental, emotional, or spiritual realm either. Realms that are just as real as the physical. There are few things helpful enough to keep me moving forward in those moments, knowing that this too shall pass, and gratitude. You will get past this. There's never a deadline for things like these. There will be ebbs and flows. Just keep reminding yourself of that. And when you can't remember, reach out to anyone and everyone you feel you should. So essentially, what I was trying to say was that just like we can't control the weather, we can't control the weather in our minds either. And when we're having days, I am gonna cry. Today is one of those days for me. When we can't control what we're feeling, just pretend it's a snowstorm, Be like, oh, this sucks. It sucks that I have to walk a mile today. Walk a mile as in go to work and get all my shit done and do all the things that I'm supposed to be doing as a responsible human being. It sucks that I have to do that and it's snowing. We all have those days. But what really makes me feel better is knowing that other people are going through the same stuff. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now, is just be like, yo, I feel you. You strong. I'm strong, and there's things that happen in life that we can't control, and there are periods of time that we don't want to live through. You just gotta. It's hard to hear that, but coming from me right now, like, do you see my eyes on the verge of breaking down? Ha 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 ha. And yeah, so it's hard. It's almost spring and I'm like almost done with school, and I have all these plans and I have these great friends surrounding me, and all of the stuff that should be making me happy and should be making me excited to move forward. Why am I not more excited about it? Makes me feel like I'm taking things for granted. Talking to my friends always helps. I went to my friend Julian's house last night and that helped a lot. So it made me feel like I was loved and that somebody cared, even though, even if somebody doesn't even understand, at least having somebody there to feel that love from and to know that you're loved. I don't know. It's all about, like I said earlier in the video, orienting yourself, surrounding yourself with things that give you a sense of what you truly desire for your life. So if you desire love, if you desire happiness, surround yourself with things that give you that sense. Because there's a lot of things that you can do to make yourself feel better. There's so many things, but for me right now. Just knowing that other people are going through the same things is what helps me the most. So that's what I'm gonna do for you right now. It's just, you know, yeah, that's me. I know shit. I know nothing, but I do know what it's like. So hopefully that means something. And you tell yourself, this was one of the obstacles that I couldn't overcome at that point in time, but I'm going to adjust some things. I'm gonna adjust the food that I eat. I'm gonna adjust the amount of sleep I get. I'm gonna adjust the time that I spend in social situations, either more or less, because sometimes if you don't have enough social stimulation, then your brain, it's not getting enough of what it needs, because we need social interaction. Make adjustments here and there and continue on your way, girl. Just continue. At your next checkpoint, hopefully you will reach that goal. Everything's subjective. There are so many variables. That's the game. And it's hard to accept that sometimes, and you just want to curl up into a ball, which is okay, because sometimes you just need a second to like process, but don't stay there. We all know that. We all know all of these things. We just have to be reminded of them. Okay, I'm gonna go because this video is way too long already, but I hope that something spoke to you, and I hope that something helped you, and I love you all so much. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions for future videos or questions or concerns, please leave those in the comments down below. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the... I can never say this part. Please hit the subscribe button. If you want to know when I post new videos, go on my Instagram. It is Amber F. Bourgeois. You can follow me on there. I also post daily stories on there. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes, but it's fun for me in the moment. So I post daily stories. Okay, I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Be kind to yourself. Okay.